Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. A little bit of a storm going on outside, or as we say in the Isle of Man, it's blowing an absolute hoolie, so feel free to use that in your real life. So sorry if you hear like wind and rain and stuff in the background, because this mic picks up like everything. So here we are, it's the finale of the Pants podcast this morning. I already listened to it first thing, and they're wrapping up for the holidays. They talked a little bit about going back, what they've been doing shooting, etc. So just kind of going to talk about everything we know about season 2 so far, go over some pictures that have come out. Recently I did that, I think last week sometime, and there was just a few, and then we got even more this week, and then also just talk about the Pants podcast in general. So in the Pants podcast today, Kate and Leisha were basically just talking about, the holidays. It was just them today, no guest star, and they did say that they've been speaking to Rose Rollins recently, and who played Tasha, of course. So she's going to be a guest star on the Pants podcast next year, and they're also going to be bringing in the new cast from Generation Q. I'm assuming, Finley, Danny, Sophie, Micah. I'm really hoping for Gigi as well, because she is my favourite from Generation Q. And speaking of Gigi, the actress Sepida, she dropped some pictures on Twitter and Instagram, and in them she's pictured with Ari Mandy, who plays Danny Nunez, and it was just them in their masks and stuff. But a lot of people I'm in like all those L Word Facebook groups, and there was a lot of people asking if COVID is going to be part of the storyline, and it absolutely 100% is not. There was an interview, I'll link it in the information section below so that you can go and read it if you want, but Marja Lewis Ryan, who's the showrunner, she said no, we're not going to do that. People want some escapism. And the quote I took away from the interview was, "No one wants to see Bette Porter in a mask," and that's for damn sure, girl. I do not want to see that. I want to see that whole beautiful face. I did also mention this in my video yesterday, but it does bear repeating, that when I retweeted the picture with Gigi's my favourite from Generation Q, check out my video from today, Sepida liked it. So that made my day on Monday. Leisha and Kate also talked about how they're basically now have a new protocol for filming, whereas anybody who's not familiar with general episodic shooting is that they shoot one entire episode and do everything for it, then it's sent to editing, done. But right now, because of COVID, and because even normally, say in the entire series, they're all going to be in, Dana's, for example, loads, or Bette's house, or Alice's house, they only shoot that episode in that location, and they come back the next time for the episode. But right now they're changing the way they do things because of COVID, and they're filming episodes 1, 2 and 3 all together. So if there's scenes in episodes 1, 2 and 3 at Alice's house, they will shoot all of the scenes at Alice's house in those 3 episodes, and then if there's a scene at Dana's in 1, 2 and 3, they're going to shoot all the scenes. So that's why it's a little bit funny how they've come back, because Leisha Haley went back to set first, and then Kate Manning, and then only yesterday did we see the picture from Jennifer Beals on set. That wasn't her first day though. So there is a little bit of, obviously if they're shooting a scene with Alice for the first week, it's going to be maybe Alice, Finley and Sophie for a few days, and then everybody else. So maybe for that first week they're shooting Alice and Nat in their house, and then they're shooting Alice at her show with Sophie, Finley, and extras and some of the very tertiary characters. Speaking of the Jennifer Beals picture yesterday, I really feel like this picture was willed into life, because yesterday morning when I was on Twitter, which I only ever go on for the L Word because Twitter is kind of scary sometimes, and there was a lot, so I follow all the L Word accounts, and there was a lot of people saying, oh, I don't think Jennifer Beals is going to post a picture, I wish she would, and then all of a sudden she posted a picture. So who knows, maybe she saw all those tweets. But as was mentioned in, I think it was her episode of the Pants podcast where they interviewed her, she did mention that she can like fall asleep anywhere, and she put a picture up of herself, I'll put it on the screen, sleeping on the ground in between, I think, well, I mean, they have masks on, so it's really hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's Kate Manning on the right side and Jordan Hull on the other side, and then I'm not sure who the furthest to the left is. In case anybody missed this when I was talking about it in one of my advent calendars, I'm not sure which one because they're all blurring into one, but I did say that someone I know through someone is working on the show, and the crew on the show, and they are contracted for 8 months. So I'm finding it really hard to believe that they're shooting one season of 10 episodes over 8 months. That seems like a really long time, unless they're counting, November as a full month, even though they went back at the very end. And then obviously they're going to go on break for, at least a few days over Christmas. It's hard to believe they're going to film all the way until June next year. I have absolutely no confirmation on this. This was just off the top of my head, but if they were shooting the seasons back to back, but also we haven't had any confirmation of season 3. So maybe the way they're breaking the episodes up, it's making it really, really difficult, and they are having to shoot over 8 months, but that kind of kills me. We're not going to get the show for so long. But of course, the most important thing is that everyone is safe. To put a few more of the season 2 pictures up on the screen, nothing crazy, but just in case some people haven't seen them, because I know social media moves at a very fast pace, and when a picture is posted, generally you see it 50 times a day, but if you don't go on social media for that one day, then it disappears into the ether. So basically nothing too major to glean from these. The only thing is the one that Leisha Haley posted, we can obviously deduce that Alice's show was renewed for a 2nd season and it wasn't cancelled, but I don't think anyone was thinking that was really going to happen, as it's such a win for the show to have that and be able to bring in some really fun guest stars that way. And speaking of guest stars on the L Word, we have had our first 3 announced. So as we're going over everything in season 2, in case you missed it, Donald Faison, who is best known from Clueless and Scrubs, he is going to be appearing on the show as someone who works with Alice. Griffin Dunn is going to be appearing on the show as someone who works with Bette in the art world. And finally, the biggest casting news that we've had for the L Word is that Rosie O'Donnell is going to be playing the infamous Carrie, Tina's Carrie. So if you want to know more information about those 3 guest stars, I've already done a video on it, and I'll link it in the cards above and at the end of the video. So overall thoughts on the Pants podcast first year in operation. They are on break now. Today's the 16th of December, Wednesday morning, and they are coming back on the 6th of January. So they're not taking that much time off, to be honest. But overall, I think this podcast was an absolute roaring success. I think especially in the beginning when it came out, and I think even the Isle of Man was under quarantine then, because we haven't had COVID in 7 months. Actually, I know this is a personal thing, but if you really, really want to have a laugh, there is an article, I'll put it in a little post below. There was because at the moment, very briefly, I'll link it in the cards above, we are COVID free on the Isle of Man for the past 7 months. I've done a whole video on it, and our borders are closed, but life is normal here. I'm going to my dad's, I hug him, I walk down the street and it's packed, and no masks, no social distancing, nothing. The only thing is you have to be a resident to come here or have special permission. So people come in all the time as key workers because we're a really small population. And this guy came in to do work, and he ended up meeting this woman, and he had to go back to Scotland, and then he appealed to come back and visit her, and the government turned him down. So what would you do for love? This guy bought a jet ski. And let me also tell you, like, it is absolutely wild. Like, I live on the seafront. It's wild weather, wild waves. This guy bought a jet ski and took off from Scotland and rode it all the way to the Isle of Man to deliver chocolates to his girlfriend and stay with her. And he went out to a nightclub and stuff. They obviously arrested him and he's in jail now. But it was just, I think it was a funny story, so I just thought it would be a little funny thing to tell you guys. So if you want to see the pictures or hear more about it, it's down below. Anyway, I think Pants was amazing. It just, especially, this has been such a difficult year, and then with no news on the show, and we were going through that really long period of them just, we're going to be filming soon, and like, obviously I was trying to keep everyone up to date, but there like was no news, and it just, we would hear they're going back this month, and then it was cancelled, and they're going back this month, and then it was cancelled. So to just have something, and then Kate and Leisha have such amazing like friend chemistry. They're so funny. I love listening to them, and all the little like L-word gems that they drop in, and of course the guest stars that they had were amazing. I mean, of course the L-word cast members were my favorite. Jennifer Beals, Laura Holloman, Sarah Shahi, Erin Daniels, like all of them, Mia Kirshner, all of them were great. But they had some, like, I love Liz Feldman, who is the creator of Dead to Me. She is awesome and was really funny on it too. And the podcast was just, I'm so glad they're continuing doing it, because as we know, they're very busy at the moment. So to get two people, especially working on the same show with like, you know, similar, but right now, because of the way they're shooting, different schedules, I think it's really great of them to continue it. And of course, special thanks to Rachel Shelley, who put the whole thing together and edits everything. So that is just fab that they're keeping it going, and I couldn't be happier. It's a lovely little treat every Wednesday morning, that's for sure. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. A few little updates. I'm really glad, to be honest, that they're not portraying COVID in the L Word, because there's so much of it in our entire life. I don't want to see Bet and Gigi's beautiful faces hidden behind masks. And I think that the way they're shooting right now is really interesting. I'm glad to see some little pictures coming out from the set. That one with Gigi and Danny, that was amazing. And I hope we continue to get more of those, as we've gone so long. It has now been a full year since Generation Q started, which seems a different lifetime ago too, because I can't believe that this time last year I was contemplating talking about the L Word, and it's literally, like, I am not exaggerating, one of the best decisions of my life, because you guys and this channel is seriously one of the best things in my life. I absolutely love doing it. I love talking to everyone, and I just love the positive environment that you have all helped me create here. So thank you so much. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps out the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, why not? And if you're not already subscribed, why not? Do you not want all the L Word information possible? So make sure that you subscribe, and if you subscribe, like, and comment down below, you'll be entered into a draw on Christmas Day to win an L Word goodie bag. And on Sunday, I do also have a little bit of news when I do my live. And my live on Friday, just to keep you updated, I may have to move it like an hour or two earlier, because I actually had something has come up in the evening. And then on Saturday night, I can't do it because my friends and I always have like a Christmas meal every year, and it's on Saturday. My Sunday live is still happening no matter what, and the Friday one, the time will just be switched around a little bit, but I'll update you guys in tomorrow's video for sure. If you want even more Elwood information, pictures from the sets, news, make sure that you're following me on all of my social medias. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you're staying safe, taking care of yourself, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye! Ever want to hear more about the infamous interrogation tapes from season 6 or the spin-off that never was, The Farm? Click this video. And to hear even more news about our huge season 2 casting on Generation Q, click this video.